I am currently very close to Curaca, which is the northernmost city in Bahia in Brazil, very close to the river San Francisco, and I'm here to register a big piece of farmland as an investment. I'm not going to talk too much, just put some comments in here and there and let you enjoy the ride and the videos I took on the ride, and I'll do a little more explaining later.
Essas coisas interessantes. É caçando água em algum, eles vão beber em algum lugar, deve estar sabendo. Já, com certeza sabe. Com certeza de seu Neno, deve ser. Zé Ivan. Nós estamos chegando no São Bento.
Ah, ele tirou a cabra lá debaixo do pé de água.
Eu aí que depois eu quero também.
Isso.
E bonito que tá aí a pracinha do São Bento. Você viu, com alfadinho.
Já tá virando assim.
Vamos parar aqui, não tá um amigo meu, vamos tomar um refrigerante.
Ninguém vai valorizar, mas daqui um tempo vai dar.
Essa é a entrada do
Aqui era um chafariz, mas já desativado.
Eles fizeram um coraçãozinho, tá ficando chique.
Aí, ó. Aí vem a casa do São Tem a casa de
Eu
erva.
lembro desse lado.
Aí, ali tem a casa de erva do lado.
Aonde?
Deixa eu ver.
Aí essa aqui tá mais...
Onde é que nós vamos? Zé Ivan, né?
Aí vai aonde?
É aqui dentro de São Bento mesmo?
É aí
Ele
mesmo.
disse que é aqui na entrada.
É.
Na entrada. Vocês não sabem? Vai fazer.
Eu sei.
Não, Maria, não pega não, não deixa você coisa pra lá.
Não, pra mim ver o nome. Zé Ivan.
É, menina, é pra ali.
Zé Ivan, ele falou, é logo na entrada.
Vamos logo ali, vai, tu procura.
Assim, ela me obedece. Assim.
Aí, vai filmar.
Olha, Zé Ivan é isso aqui.
Eu sei lá onde é o local lá.
Não, então pronto, ele vai na frente.
É isso mesmo?
É.
É, tá fazendo barulho.
Não, mas tá baixando.
Mas Luizinho, tome jeito, rapaz, você...
E agora? Aonde é o...
Tem uma reserva.
Tem outro? Tem reserva.
É.
Então vamos.
É isso aqui mesmo.
So we have arrived in Sao Bento, which is the city that's closest to the land plot that I'm registering, and I'm gonna do a little small city walk here in the city because we had a flat tire here, but then you get a chance to see this small little collection of buildings, and they are still building here. I guess there's still plots here to buy as well, but mine is further out. We are meeting here in Sao Bento the surveyor, who is going to do all the measurements of the land, and then later we are going to go there and mark it up with some poles, but that will be another day.
Eu falei pra ele assim, mas vai, daqui um tempo ver se você comprar o terreno aqui, é tudo caro. Já como é que tá?
coisa. Não tomaram água não e ele não tá muito no centro.
Sempre tem um probleminha desde pequeno.
Desde pequeno, mas a família dele.
Esse chama. Peraí, deixa eu ver como é que chama. Então, a criança que o filho dela descobriu agora.
É.
Ah, é?
E batismo é
Meu
pai.
padrinho de alguma coisa.
É, não sei se era
É, igual. Aí eu preparando o outro lá, que você não podia perguntar nada. E o homem já havia pensado. Mas é porque eu sou solteira.
As you can see here on the sign they put up, it says no trespassing. And as you can see later in the video, there's already been people trespassing and exploiting something on the land plot.
Porque lá no papel tá assim, ó, quando chega aqui é uma metragem na frente, porque tá mais distante. Quando chega lá no pedaço, lá já vai.
So I'm here in Curaca, Bahia, looking at a land plot that we're gonna register here. 20, is it called hectares, or 40 football fields here. It goes from this place here and then all the way to the mountain there in the back. It's pretty much, it's a dry season now, so it's pretty dry. In June, now it's October, in June it's all green here, a lot of umbu trees. I can see all these small cactus are shiki, and they have the bigger cactus as well, and it's around maybe 36 degrees today, but it's windy out here. It's not too bad, not as bad as I thought. Look at this, there's
Tu pode acreditar que eu cheguei aqui e eles ainda estavam.
rocks here as well. The guy on the neighbor plot is already constructing a house here. He bought 2 plots, so he has double the size. Oh, and there's actually water here. Let's have a look.
Eu abri um osso lá no meu sítio, lá no Barra Grande. Dou água a bicho, seja do que for. Bota até em carrinho, em balde, em todo canto. E vou fazer um bebedouro lá da água dos bichos. Aqui, se fizesse bastava fazer uma divisão ali, ó, para separar, para que ele não entrasse, só bebesse.
So this is actually the waters coming out of the earth here is because they already cut stones here. The mineros, or the miners here, they went here trespassing to steal some of these rocks, and now there's a hole. They closed it off, but there's some animals drinking here, but that's because they actually stole a lot of these rocks. You can see they've been cutting here, so that's why it's so important to get this land registered, so they won't steal anymore. At least you can come after them, but they already made a lot of money here, and there's still a lot here, a lot of rocks here to cut.
sempre acho que isso é uma lavagem de dinheiro.
Sim, sim, com certeza.
Porque sempre deixa um à toa.
Você vê, meu primo chegou a pegar 20 mil. Imagina quanto dinheiro.
Just picked up a few rocks here, and as you can see, it's all of it's marble. So this is pretty much gold in the earth here. There could be gold as well, who knows? But that's why it's so important, because otherwise they'll go here and steal everything. So I'm really happy that this guy also living in Curaca, he's building a house here because he will be watching if anyone's invading and stealing and starting to mine here.
É, porque assim, aqui dá corre lá, vai abrir. Porque
Entendi. É assim, ó. Não é isso
só
coisa.
tem
Não, é
assim, de cumprir. De cumprir pra
Pra
curar.
cá, é de quem?
Aqui é do também. Aqui já fica ali, é por isso que eu digo, o de frente de Maria e Rosa já vai ficar
Ali
ali.
tem aquela cerca de avião.
Ah, pois já tem tempo que ele já botou fora lá.
É dali.
É, dessa coisa branca pra lá. E aquele lá grosso até aquele desse branco era de alpinho, ele comprou.
e dali é quem tem que assinar.
É, porque ele já
É,
vai ficar de
confrontando,
frente aos
né?
meninos de seu neto, os primos dele.
Ali já tá entrando com medo pra lá, ó.
Aí só pra mim
Porque o
entender.
bicho dele, quando chegar lá, já fica na beirinha da coisa.
É, já o dele tá na beira
Mas
da
vem cá,
estrada lá.
ele falou que tem que continuar daqui quando chegar ali virar.
It's hot here. I'm just gonna do a stroll down towards the mountains here in the back, if you can see them. So the terrain pretty much ends 2,400 meters behind me at the foot of the mountain, and it starts out by being the beginning it's 43.5 meters, and in the other end at the foot of the mountain it's 120 meters. So it's long, like a funnel, shaped like a kind of a funnel. I gotta watch myself here because there should be snakes here, but right now it's dry, so I should be able to see it, I think. I hope so. This is pretty interesting. There's like, it seems like there's a lot, all the stones look like marble here. A lot of different colors. So there's definitely would be interesting for mining here. Let a mining company pay you some money to open up a hole here. There's a lot of rocks sticking up, so in the ground there'll be a lot of rocks. There's a lot of people having cattle farms here. You can construct a farm if you want to have horses, cattle, a lot of goats here. And you can plant here. It's actually pretty green in the summer. And like I said before, it's the dry season now. So, yeah. interesting spot. If anybody is wondering about the price here, this is the neighbor sold his piece of land, and he sold it for 3,000 reais. That's about 500 euros for all this land. I think that's crazy, but you know, a lot of people here don't really think long term or possibilities. They just want money quick. So, and there's still 3 land plots. They say it costs maybe 1,500 or something to have it registered, and the last 3 plots, so about 120 football fields, they don't want to register right now. They don't have the money for it. I think they should just register it and then sell it right away. They would make something, at least a little bit. But I think it's good to hold on to this for a little while, and then look at the possibilities. There's a lot. You could construct a farm as well if you wanted to plant something. This is amazing. I think I'm gonna head back because I can't see them anymore. The ones who are making the measurements right now, and I think they're worried about the gringo walking off. So I'm gonna return to the car. At least this gives you some kind of idea of what the terrain is like here. Like I said, 500 euros. I think it's insanely cheap. It's so dry here. Not sure what's... This is the last marker, and I don't know if you can see it. The next one has a plastic bag on it. It's there. It's 43.5 meters down. So the terrain is going to be from here, and then 43.5 meters that way. Then 2,400 meters in that direction towards the mountain, and in the end the width is going to be 120 meters, so 3 times as wide. So kind of like a funnel shape. So there's the pole, and they measured out this rock here. So it's going to be between those, 43.5 meter, and then it's going to be towards that pointy mountain top there, and a little bit over here. So this terrain right here. And there's 3 other terrains just like this, or plots like this on the side, but they haven't registered it. The people who have access to this land, this cheap, is the people who used to live here. There used to be a farm here with a lot of children, and they took all of this land. I don't know how many hectares. I think there's 7 or something like that. And they split it up, and they each get a part. They just have to register it, and they basically get it for free just for that registration fee. And then they pay, I think it's about 2 euros per year taxes for having this land registered. And well, an expense pretty much. Anyone can bear it.
Dos avós da gente, tudo isso aqui.
Aí ela disse que ela falou, ué, se a gente vai estar lá, eu vou medir, eu quero ver quem é que vai proibir. Tá sendo medido e ela tá certa. Já é outro bem.
So as this is about 400 or 500 meters from the land plot, and as you can see, there's a pole. So electricity has almost arrived. It's about a few hundred meters away. Until that arrives, you can get a solar panel there for about 400 euros. But as there's a house being built there, it will arrive very soon anyway. Here on the way back, we are visiting a small private farm. They are just having some private farming there for their animals, their goats, and for them to eat themselves. So we're just gonna jump out of the car and see how they live here. As you can see on the pipes here, they're putting those in the ground to put some water in to make it fertile, so they can start planting there. They already have some plants. You can see they already have power and TV there. The guy here on the neighbor ground is showing us around. You can see he's cooking some beans there in his backyard, and that's a water reservoir there. There's some small private plantation. Here's some cactus they use to feed the animals. This tree is a maracuja. I also spotted some coconut here, and there's some avocados and some mangoes. So there's a little bit of everything can grow here. They also are gathering the rainwater here and putting in the water reservoir. And when it rains here, it rains a lot, like you can see a little bit later. Here's also a very small, cute, talking house pet. And on the way back, we are passing closer to the mountains, and there's kind of like a slope there where it goes a little bit downhill, and you can see the terrain here gets greener, and that's because the water is closer to the surface. But as you could see before, where the miners had been trespassing, as soon as you start digging, there's water right under the surface. So it's easy to get it up, and you can, for 500 euros, you can get the city, you can get someone to drill a well for you here, and then you put up a water reservoir in a tower, and then you actually have water. We're gonna pass one right here. Actually, you can see there's a well there they made for their farm, so you can do that, so you have water for your plants and water for your cooking and everyday needs.
Lá aqui no mato, né? Lá no São Bento.
Eu não me lembro se Juvim tinha.
No São Bento. Eu morei na casa dele.
A casa de Juvim, finado Valentim.
E a de meu padrinho Nequinha? Não, aí era de meu padrinho Nequinha.
Era de Valentim.
E era?
Era. Agora de Nequinha, onde
Meu
era?
padrinho Nequinha, então era essa daqui? Não.
Não, aqui era de Valentim.
A do meu padrinho Nequinha que era aquela.
Não tem bastante Valentim?
Tem.
Eu não sei de Nequinha será essa. E aqui é Casa Velha, só que Toninho Pereira quem mora aqui.
Renovar, mas eu acho que era aí mesmo. Eu acho que era essa daí.
Aqui é Dom Filho
O galã do
Dudu.
pedaço aí.
Nequinha era meu padrinho
Esse é o galã do Nordeste.
Essa daqui tá caindo.
Aí era a casa de Antônia. Dona Antônia era pra ali, não?
Era.
Essa casa é grande, hein?
Aqui é de Jarba. Essa mulher.
Aqui é de Jarbas, né?
Aquele do carro.
Mas aí é o quê? É um
Eu
clube?
acho que é um clube. É um clube, é o do Uber, né?
Do Uber.
Ele mora lá, mas ele tá bom.
Diz que ele é um quebra-pau da pega amarrar a mulher.
Quem é?
É.
Mas tu quer aqui Foi.
Eu vou parar só um pouquinho pra vocês tirarem a foto aqui
Já, filho de quem?
de Bezé.
De Bezé.
Eu estudei com a mulher
E
dele.
depois você não morou um tempo com a Rebelinda?
Morei.
Quer tirar não, Maria? Foto aí na pracinha?
Ah, eu tirando é a mesma coisa que eu. Depois ele vai ter. Deixa eu tirar.
Depois eu acho que estão tudo trancados.
Pois é. Vai dormindo. Você acha? Vem aqui, neném. Igualzinha a mãe.
Tá chamando quem?
We are back in Sao Bento on the way back, and before we take the rest of the way home, we're having a few coxinhas and a cold beer with some nice homemade chili at one of the small bodegas that are in Sao Bento.
Outro com esses lixos velhos aí.
Estão tudo gordo, olha. Tudo.
Na realidade eles estão barrigudos mesmo, né?
Não, mas estão gordos mesmo, é
Ah,
pai?
é?
É gordo. Não é só barrigudo,
Eu não
não.
tô comendo lixo.
É.
A outra nem anda. Agora vai com peso.
So this is Rua da Paz or Bairro da Paz. It's kind of like a suburb of Curaca, and there's some hefty building going on here, construction going on here. There's some fairly cheap land plots here, and the city is growing very fast in this direction. So I'm considering buying another land plot here, and maybe sometime soon trying to build a house here, or just leave it as an investment for some years and let it valuate. And investing in land in Brazil is quite a common investment, and it can valuate very fast if you pick the right spots.
E aí vamos começar.
I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, a like, maybe a comment if you have some questions. I've not been explaining too much, but let me know if you have any questions about investing in land in Brazil, and I'll be happy to try and help you with answering your questions. Just as an outro here, I'm going to cut in a small piece of video that I received a few weeks after returning from Curaca, returning to Sao Paulo, where you can see how the terrain changes when there's a little rain. Here it had been raining for a couple of days, and then just after a few days after, everything turns green, and there's basically a small river right on one of the terrains right next to mine.